Howdy folks, welcome to the stream. I think we're started, here we go. Howdy folks, welcome to the stream. And today we are going to do some... maybe that's the start. Okay, howdy folks, welcome to the stream for maybe the 17th time. Anyway, we are going to do some resource gathering today, and I wanted to also quickly make a hovercraft thruster or two and try this out. Somebody in the comments section suggested that I put downward facing thrusters on the hovercraft, and that will allow me to aim up and down and all that stuff. So yeah, that would be kind of cool. And let me check and make sure this thing is going. All right. Okay, it looks like it's going. And yeah, so let's get these thrusters out here. And I think I'm just going to throw them on there. I'm not going to try to get them all decorated and stuff. And let's see. All right. Grandpa's here already. Hi, Grandpa. And yeah, let's see if I can get these thrusters on here. And let's see, is that a good place? Yeah, that's a good place for that for right now. Because we just want to see if this will do the trick. So we'll get them there. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay. All right, so yeah, we're going to go... And Blonde Crafter's here too. Cool. So yeah, we're going to go get some resources. And let me see on the map. Yeah, there's an iron deposit right here. So we'll go get that, and I hope I remembered my drill. And because yeah, that's gonna be kind of embarrassing if I get there and I don't have my drill, right? All right, so yeah, we're gonna head over this way. And yeah, this is kind of the fun part where you first start the game and there's lots of stuff to do, and it's hard to to not just sit down and play at the beginning. And yeah, so we've got our hover height. So let's see if I'm going to sit down on the ground here once we get here, and remind me to check and see if we can. Let's see if we can do this. No, it still doesn't let me pitch up and down really. I mean, I'm like dragging the mouse here. Let me hold down the forward arrow. That's as far as it goes. Hold down the down arrow, and that's as far as it pitches. Yeah, it's really not... It's not letting me pitch back and forth. Now, if I shift space and boost, it'll let me pitch all over the place while I'm still in the air, which I've actually tested that out, and I was able to kill some of the thingies. And I need to reload that too. Kill some of the... Let's see... drones. Okay, here we go. Alright, so this is... Yeah, this is in the hill. So we're just gonna do this. So yeah, I got my fancy new Tier 2 drill. And, yeah, I got my fancy new Tier 2 drill. If you didn't see the last episode... But yeah, in episode 5, because we got the whatchamacallits, the thingamajigs, the advanced CPUs and stuff. So I got to decide what I'm going to do with the flux coils. And I'll probably end up, once I finish the plan is to make a small vessel and go get Sathium. And I mean, once you get Sathium, you pretty much do that once in the entire game, and you never need to again. So it's not like I need to conserve my power coils at any point other than between now and when I first go to get Sathium. So I'm thinking I might use them to make some auto miners, but I'll see what other equipment you can make with them. Okay, just gotta check the chat here and there, make sure I'm not missing anything important. How you guys doing today? Oh, hey, Hal. How you doing today? Welcome to the stream, guys. It's cool. I hope it's coming through okay. I seem to have a decent... I think I have a pretty decent connection now. I seem to be able to get about a meg to a meg and a half per second, which is a lot better than what I was getting before. So let's see what is next. Be killed by falling resource rocks. Yeah. Okay, we can go get the copper and stuff. Copper and silicone and magnesium. Let's see. Or I could go this way and try to keep up with the daylight. Silicon. We'll just go north. It's not like it's super horrible dark. And I'm not sure why I'm not getting monsters on this. Why I'm not getting any hostiles. And I'm wondering if maybe the mob cap got filled up at the beginning by all the cows. Because, I mean, there's like a zillion cows in the plains. And so another thing I want to try is basically just go down there with the Gatling gun and kill tons and tons of those. just slaughter all the all the existing mobs. So yeah, this is kind of fun. It's relaxing when you do it in little bits here. The thing that drives me nuts is the really gigantic, like those huge 5,000 resource nodes, because you get in OCD mode where it's like a completionist mode, you know, where I gotta finish this node, I gotta finish, and it's like only one more hour of mining in this one node, and it gets annoying because you're just staring at a wall for an hour. So yeah, that's why I make these nodes really small, so that I can actually have some fun between. And the other thing that's weird about this is I don't seem to get many drones protecting these things. I swear I set the drone presence on high, and these were at the default. I must have turned them up in my previous game. So yeah. Let's see here. We'll get this. What happens when the meteorites... Oh, nice. Whoops, wrong thing. Okay, that was awesome. What happens when the meteorites... Stream just died. Yeah, it paused when I hit my thing right there. It paused when I hit my pistol. I hit both buttons thinking I had the drill. But yeah, what happens when a meteorite hits stuff? Does it actually do like collision damage or anything? Or does it just sit there in the middle of... or sit there on the top of stuff, or what? Somebody's stream just died. Nope, I didn't rage quit. Although rage quitting is the funniest thing that ever happens on the internet, so, you know, there's that. There you go, it's back. Alright, cool. Yeah, I've actually got a second connection where I'm running this stream on a laptop so that I can make sure it's actually working. And Jimmy, hi Jimmy! Cool. So yeah, we're gonna get all this. I want to see if I can get this, and then I'm gonna try to do... I want to get this done so that I can start doing POIs, because I want to start shooting up some POIs, because that's the fun part. And yeah, I want to try, at least on this planet, I want to do all the POIs in a, you know, non-cheaty kind of way, because there's a lot of different tactics that you can do for for taking out POIs, like putting the stock on a vehicle and then putting a turret on it so that you can just sit behind a hill and blow it away and it never shoots back. There's all kinds of little tricks like that, but I want to try just the, you know, actually go at it, give it a chance to shoot back kind of thing. So we'll see how well I can do against that. They've really cranked up the guns on them. Yeah, there's a butterfly. Squirrel! Alright, so we'll get this silicone, we got copper. Let's see how many of these deposits we have left. I've discovered all but one promethium and one copper deposit, so we're kind of close. It looks like maybe a couple hours of mining is going to be required to get everything, and so I probably will have Hurley join me at some point and mine with me. She usually does that, but that's usually on the weekends too. For the POIs, am I going to do the SV or HV? I'm going to try to do everything on the planet with the hovercraft. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. We'll say that. I might have to build like a big armor shield on the front of my... or even build a special hovercraft for doing that. But yeah, I want to try to do a hovercraft-only conquering of the planet, just for the fun of it and for the challenge of it and stuff, and kind of to show that, you know, hovercrafts are pretty useful. So, because I think they got a bad rap early on, and I know not everybody still loves them. Right, Hal? But, yeah, they are... Where is my exit? There it is. They are pretty useful, and so I kind of want to show that, and especially for the new people that haven't used them yet. So... I tried... Have I tried Kerbal Space Program? Yeah, I actually loaded it on my kids' computer for them to play, and it's a little too involved, so I basically never spent the time to figure out what all I was doing. It looks really cool. It looks like a fun sim, because I actually enjoy some of those simulation type games. It's just, since I've had kids, haven't had that kind of giant block of time to do that. The other games I really got into was the 4X, the exploration and conquer, and, you know, like Civilization and those kind of games, especially the space versions of those. I used to love those, the turn-based strategy games that, you know, you spend like 16 hours in one sitting doing those. But yeah, I didn't get very far in Kerbal Space Program. I basically made a rocket and it failed horribly. And looked horrible too. Yeah, the hovercrafts are, they have their strengths and weaknesses. They now have fewer weaknesses. But yeah, there's still a couple bugs associated with them too. Like right now, you can't jump you can't boost while you're moving forward or sideways or backwards or whatever. As soon as you start moving while you're boosting, or hitting one of the move keys anyway, you lose all of your power for your boost, and you just start like dropping again. So yeah, that kind of sucks for that. But I assume that's something they'll actually fix, and so I'm not really considering that as part of a hovercraft being bad type of thing. But yeah, the stuff like, you know, trying to get through a forest with them can be really difficult. So yeah, I don't blame people for not wanting to use them on a crowded planet where, like, especially like a jungly planet or whatever. And this one, you know, I can get through the forest because I built it really thin, but yeah, I've gotta still be careful getting through them and everything. Let's see. The POIs have been beefed up. Yeah, I haven't really attacked them. Is that a POI right there? No, that was just my thruster. Okay. The hit points, it seems like the hit points on the whatchamacallits, on the POI turrets are like huge now. Either that or they've really nerfed how much damage the weapons do. Where's that magnesium deposit? Oh, it's right there. Right on it. Okay. So we're going to do this. And they just recently nerfed the turrets, the machine gun turrets. I'm not sure why. And it's also the machine guns on the front here. They now do 7 points of damage. And for comparison, the Krogums, or whatever they're called, the Xerax they're called now, those have 500 hit points. Although, unless they've changed that too. But the NPCs generally have 500 hit points. So you're talking... what, 14 times 5? What is that, 80? You're talking like 80 rounds to kill one of those things. And let's see. HV with artillery is killer. Yeah. Can destroy half the base while taking out a turret or two. Yeah, that's one of the things. That's probably what I want to do. Is I'm probably going to play around with rocket launchers and hovercraft artillery turret. I don't know. I think I need power coils in order to make the artillery turret. I'll have to check, or somebody in chat will probably know. But yeah, the the artillery turret is killer. So there's that, and you know, you can use some legit tactics to get closer enough to the POIs to hit them with the rocket launcher. But I noticed another bug right now that when you fire a rocket launcher up into the air, it like goes way off to the right. And so if you're trying to arc it into a base, you're going to have a real hard time doing it. You're going to have a real hard time trying to hit. So they made it extra difficult with that. But yeah, I was looking at all the different weapon options and what I might be able to do to take out base turrets, and it's going to be interesting. I can say that much. So and it'll probably make up for the fact that this is like the easiest start. This is like the easiest start I have had in this game, because there's like, I mean, how many times have you actually seen any critters coming at me? Pretty much none. So let's see. Maybe I can jinx it and get some of them to come after me, right? Wow, that looks like a big divot there. Okay, let's see. We have another... There it is. It's over that way. We have some daylight. Did they remove tree collision from experimental? Trees were back and we don't... Did they remove tree collision? It's colliding here. I don't remember if they're colliding with the small things, but if you watch here, let's see. I think it's still, yeah, see the pixie stalk, if you can see here, I'm like bouncing off the pixie stalks, which is silly. Which is ridiculous. It's kind of interesting because it's hard to tell what you're going to collide with, but I don't think you collide with the tree branches, you only collide with the trunk, is the deal with that. So yeah, let's get over to this thing. And yeah, I widened the back, so it makes it a little bit tougher because I don't have quite as much room in the back. But, and I also have like the absolute minimum amount of thrusters on this, you know, the absolute bare minimum, because I don't have 15 pieces of flare, but or 37 pieces like your pretty boy Brian. And let's see, here we go, here's our magnesium. Yeah, there's new block shapes. It's really awesome, isn't it? I really have to play around with that too. Let's see, do I have any blocks on me? No, I don't have any blocks on me. Yeah, those new block shapes look really cool, and I was not expecting that many that soon or anything like that, so I'm really excited about that, and it makes me want to build something. So I'm probably going to have to figure out, I need to just look through them and lay them out. I think that's the best way to figure out what they're good for, is to just kind of go and, like, you know, sit them all in a row and that kind of thing, and walk around them and stuff. It helps you see what you can do with them. But yeah, that's going to be really cool. I think I'm going to be able to incorporate some of that stuff. And one of the cool things you can do now is they have those caps, and the end caps that's like a half sphere. And so you can put two of those together and make a sphere. So you can have like a base with little spheres, or big spheres or whatever, sitting around. Reminds me of those giant red balls they have out in front of Target. But yeah, that's going to be really cool. And then you can probably do some cool stuff with those little spikies too. You know, the end caps. They've got a couple of different cones for end caps, and it looks like they have pipes too. So they finally did pipes, and they have T pipes and branches and going around corners and stuff. So I don't know if they are full cylinders or if they are shorter, if they're the smaller, the thinner cylinders, or what. Let's see. Oh, the ram mechanics. Let's see. Yeah, the hovercraft going up hills is definitely improved. They adjusted the hover engines, which is really cool, and they made them a lot stronger. significantly stronger so that they're a lot closer to what they used to be, and they're reasonable. And like I said, this is like, this hovercraft only has one of the bare minimum on these, on the front, back, or on the front and sides, and it's only got two on the back. Let's see, where's our next? Am I going to be able to do that one? Yeah, I think I'll be able to get that one. So that's off to my left. Southeast. But yeah, the hovers, you can go up basically almost a vertical hill on Akua now with just, you know, a light HV with some wimpy little thrusters. So yeah, they've really improved it big time. The Epic rocket launcher trails down straight. If you fire it into over the tree line, what I found was, my experience was this. I basically, if you fire at, let's see, if you're firing like this and there's something in your crosshairs, then it will fire straight ahead. And then if you fire like right here, then it will go off, your bullet will go off to the side over here. So basically, if you're ray tracing and you don't actually hit like a target within, you know, I don't know, 500 meters or whatever, or a kilometer, I don't know, maybe it's out to infinity. But yeah, if you don't hit like an actual target with your thing, then it will, let's see if this is, yeah, this is set correctly. Okay. Yeah, if you don't have a target in there, it will just basically go off to the side. And I tested it with the laser rifle as well. He's going to shoot down that thing. I think he's going to try to shoot down that drone. But yeah, I tested it with a laser rifle as well, and it does the same thing with the laser rifle, which is really annoying too. And let's see, the ram mechanics when the HV hit trees. I don't know, let's see. Let's try this out. One way to find out, right? Huh. I think it's actually going through the tree. It was actually going through the tree there. Now, I am in PvP mode, so I have to consider that I'm going to do damage to my stuff doing this. No, it's not busting them out, because yeah, it was doing that, where you ram into a tree with a hovercraft and it would actually like destroy the tree and you know, get rid of it. So apparently they did take that out. Can I fit? Alright, I can fit through that. Cool. And yeah, this would probably be more interesting if there were actually, like, you know, plant monsters and spiders and stuff to come at you. I really don't like spiders. I'd prefer plant monsters, personally. But yeah, I'm kind of disappointed I can't get that working. So I'm probably still going to have to screw around with that. But I think once I get past this stage anyway, it's not going to be as big of a deal. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? Impact, then, yeah. Yeah, I really like the update where they made it so you could, I think it's for CVs, that basically when you land at a CV, you know, if there's trees or whatever, it just knocks all the trees out of the way. I think that was the thing. But yeah, a hovercraft at like a 16-ton that these things are now, the thing is like 16 tons and it can't knock over a tree. I mean, those are trees that a couple weeks ago I was outside. The reason I was on break, by the way, I was out in the backyard taking out acres of trees, you know, saplings that are like 1 inch to 2 inches wide with a brush cutter. So yeah, mowing them down with the thing. So yeah, that a hovercraft can't do that is kind of ridiculous. A 16-ton hovercraft. So yeah, I agree. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, mass for collision mechanics would definitely be a big deal. Mass for it if... Yep, definitely. And you could even put like just one armored block on the front of your ship for ramming stuff with. For your little battering ram. Ooh, look, a butterfly! And it just disappeared. Huh. Just disappeared into the woods. It's funny. Okay. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, it seems to... I don't know. I don't use the rocket launcher long or often enough. I tend to use only the ray trace weapons because you don't have to lead with them. But yeah, I didn't try the rocket launcher in the previous, whatever the previous version was. Abandoned mine, I can go past that. There's some promethium. Yeah, let me go over past this abandoned mine. Go east and northish. There's a triceratops. Hey, there's an actual living thing. Should we kill it? I actually found some life on this planet. It's kind of amazing. So, yeah. And see if I can get through this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through all this. Let's see. See if I can boost up and over this tree. And run into the next one. Now, I am in PvP. I'm going to have to check my damage. Yeah, I did take some damage somewhere. Oh, it's just a hover engine. Okay, that's fine. I don't want my gun on the front to get blown up. Alright. And how am I doing on food? I might have to actually get out and get food. Oh, I have canned vegetables. Okay. And I'm going north. I need to go east. I think. Let's see. Yep, east and a little bit south. So we'll go this way. Here we go. But at least I like I enjoy the hovercraft phase of just being able to go around and not having to be scared of everything that moves. So this is actually kind of enjoyable, and going around the planet like this. Capital vessels destroy trees when you hit them. I think it's based on a capital vessel mass. I don't think it matters. I don't think they've calculated the mass of the ship yet. I'm not sure. I think it's more a velocity thing that it does that with. But yeah, they do remove trees. There's nothing there. I don't think there's anything in those blue thingies, so I'm not even going to bother with that. We'll do that when it's POI time. Okay, we'll go get the iron deposit first and then start working our way west again. So is that dead ahead? Yeah, pretty much dead ahead. Let's see, endangered species. Yeah. The Triceratops are endangered species. CV. Ooh, I found the Talon Guardian village. Cool. That's up there? Okay, yeah, that's up there. Alright. Found that. Fuel consumption is a ratio of power versus power output versus usage. Huh. Yeah, I don't know how they work that. I think it's kilowatt hours each unit of energy that you get in the power packs where it says like 150 units. It's kilowatt hours. I know that much. I don't know how they calculate how many kilowatt hours are being used. That I really hope they actually do it that way, where if you don't have enough generators for the stuff that you're running, that it actually uses more power to power it. I would definitely be on board with that. Because it seems like there's really no consequence other than just, you know, the number turns red. I don't know, we'd have to check that. And just make a giant CV, and load it down and make it hover on a lava planet with heavy gravity, right? With one generator. And see what happens. $25 megawatts. Yeah, those CVs go through a ton of power. I'm really glad for the auto miners when it's going to come to that time, being able to get promethium. Although most of my CVs, I don't end up flying too much in them. It's not like in PvP where people fly all over the place in them, I think. Okay, we're going to get this iron deposit. And I think there's like a mission related to the Talon village. Is that in here? In the PVA? I completely forgot about this. I should probably do some of these. Dinner for 2, cook all the meals. Clans, visit the native. Find it. Oh, it's only gold coins. That doesn't help. One of the animals listed below. Hunt down some golems. Huh. A pulse rifle? So what do I have to do to get that? Oh, I have to kill all of those? Okay. Huh. Custom tours, drone hunter, I did that one. Dangerous space, pure epicness, 7 epic weapons. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I'll check those out later. There might be some missions I can do. I'd like to do that one where you get the epic minigun. That was pretty fun. Although killing a drone in space without a ship was pretty challenging. Let's see. Use a base to do the math test. The CV power mod in atmospheres is crazy and makes it hard to test accurately. Yeah, the CV power, yeah, exactly. It's kind of unpredictable depending on what angle you're sitting at and that kind of thing. Yeah, basically use a base with... Too bad they don't have the fridges that use 1,000,000 watts anymore, right? How the resource quality is affected for the auto miner. The resource quality is randomly generated, kind of like the size, as far as I can tell anyway. That's how they do that. And so you just have to wander around and find a resource node that has a high quality to put your miners on. I think that's the deal with that. So yeah, I don't think you can do anything to affect which quality you're getting out of a resource node. Whoops. And let's see, where's the next one? Let's find the next one. Here's Promethium here. There's the Titan back part. Was that the one that was that the one that I went around to and and ended up getting into a big fight, a never-ending fight? Well, let's see. That was the one that was close to the drone base. Yeah, I think that was that one. That one was crazy. It was just drone after drone. They kept replacing... Oh, it's sitting right there. I can see it right there. I might have to go back there, because I seem to recall I never actually got to go inside that thing, because I kept fighting off all the drones. And yeah, if I do that now, I'm going to have to... Yeah, I'll go buy it and see. After we do this Promethium deposit, I'll go buy it and see. But yeah, there's like no... Yeah, this sucks. I mean, I can get out and kill this thing faster with my pistol than I can with this. And this thing's going to start shooting my ship. Okay, so yeah, we're going to get out and we're going to shoot this thing. Let's see here. Where is he? Oh, he's stuck in the tree. There we go. Okay, cool. And might as well go loot him. Are we that close to all that stuff? Oh, that's the drone base right there. Can you see it? Cool. Okay. Yeah, the drone base is going to be interesting with just a hovercraft, because it tends to have those two crisscrossing red things that are really hard to avoid. Alright, here's our Promethium deposit. We'll get this. And take it from this way. Yeah, I think I actually haven't used much of the auto miners yet. I did basically enough to test them, so you'll have to let me know. That's my impression of it, so let me know if I'm wrong about that. Some video comments later on or whatever. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that the quality of the resource node for the auto miners is totally based on random number and has nothing to do with the size or anything like that, because I've got really tiny resource nodes on all my planets, and I'm pretty sure I had one that was getting like the maximum out of it, or it was at 80% or something like that. It was pretty high number for like a 67 deposit that was on my little custom Omicron. Now the thing that I actually am wondering about is, you know, if I mine out all of these resource nodes, because I'm in single player, it's not going to do any of the meteorites or whatever, so I don't think I'm going to be able to stick an auto miner on what used to be a node, because I think it actually does delete the node once it's gone, because it doesn't show up on the map. But yeah, I'll have to test that out and see if that works too. So what do we have left here? Yeah, 11, 18. We have 18 nodes left. I might actually just purposely leave one of each on the planet so that I can do that, but then that's where I'll end up with the crummy... Right? Yay, I left a node, and then it's like you get 1 per hour out of it. Because Murphy says. Yeah, can you attach the auto miner to a meteorite? I haven't tried that yet. You can try it in creative, though, because there is that screen, the debug menu screen lets you spawn in stuff like meteorites. And so, yeah, you can spawn in a meteorite in a single-player game and then stick an auto miner on it and see if it works. One thing you can try. It's actually kind of cool that they put that, because you can also, if you wanted to get footage of a meteorite falling, you can now do that. Although it might be kind of difficult to do that while you're typing and catch the beginning of it. I'm not sure. Okay. So there is the Promethium, and yeah, let's try going over to the Titan. Let's go check out the Titan. Yeah, I think there's some rocks right over here around this corner of these trees, which was where I was sitting when I lost my turret. Yeah, this is where my hovercraft was parked when I lost the turrets on it. The turret, singular. And let's see, are there any... And I'm going to have to turn off the shooting on the turret. Okay, that was weird. Little twitch there. I think one of my engines is bugged. Let's see. Let's see here. We'll park this. Nice. Yeah, I guess we won't park it up there because there's too much stuff in the way. Okay, we'll park down here. And I know I saw the core. Yeah, something is going on right now with my engine. Let me get out and see if I can repair it. I do have a repair tool on me, don't I? Please tell me I have a repair tool. Yeah. Okay. They keep changing the names of these tools, too. It's now a multi-tool. It used to be a... Okay, is it this one? It's that. Oh, that's interesting. Did you see that? It was not lifting it up as much when it was damaged. How many hits does that take? Yeah, I don't want to break it and not be able to fly. Okay. We're going to go through here, and yeah, I don't see any drones, so we will take our chances and see if we can get through here. Because it's not like there's any hostile wildlife anywhere on this whole planet, which is just weird. Okay, and I know I saw the drone. Yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. And we'll reload. Like mining meteorites, no moving around. Too lazy to lower the threshold on my single player. I don't think they even spawn no matter what you set the threshold to in single player. I don't think they spawn. So, yeah. I don't think you can, even if you wanted to, unfortunately. Let's see, is there... Whoops, yeah. Oh, almost got it. Almost had it. Let me get up there. Yeah, cool, there is. Excellent. Let's see if the whole thing comes crashing down when I get this. Nice. More flux coils. Because the advanced CPUs, I can probably make as many as I need, although I think a lot of stuff takes like 5 advanced CPUs at a time. But yeah, that's cool. Let's see if we have more thrusters here. Oh, that's right, they added. Let me see. Oh, I have two charges left. Okay, cool. There's lots more stuff. I'm gonna have to dump this in my... Yeah, I'm gonna have to start dumping stuff in my hovercraft. Yeah, in the cargo box here. Let's see, we'll go put stuff in the cargo box. And see if we can... Yeah, let's get rid of all this stuff. There we go, and I need those. And I can also get rid of the electronics too, can't I? Electronics, anything else? Probably don't need the chainsaw, but... Alright, let's see what else we can get in here. Because, yeah, there's lots of loot in these things. It's a kind of a cool way to add free stuff to the early game on the starter planet. And I didn't even look to see if there was any neodymium ore in that. Let's see. Go across here. I should have brought a core with me, and then I can just place the core in here and access. I think you can access all the... Can you access all of those? I know I tried that in the crashed ship and it wouldn't let me access, but I don't remember if it was these cargo boxes or the other kind. And there we go. Cool, I got some more steel blocks, I think. Excellent. Yeah, steel blocks. And cool, more neodymium too. That's always a good thing. So yeah, for those of you who haven't seen all the blocks, I'm sure it's all blurry on the thing. This looks cool. There's cylinder fence. That's awesome. There's a beam, a small beam. Cylinder thin. Yeah, they do have... Oh, this is cool. This is really cool. This is going to be fun building stuff. I can tell you that. So yeah, they've got... Yeah, see, they've got this thin cylinders. And they've got the joints that you can put on them and curves. Oh, that is so cool. A cylinder fence. That's neat. So you can make that with wood and make it like a wooden fence around your... Oh, that's cool. Okay. Around your base and stuff. This is... Yeah, and they've got some... Is this all corners or just... Yeah, that's a single... Like a two-sided. Nice. That is really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. So yeah, what you can do is you can like... You can, let's see. Let me get the different blocks here. Let's do the regular steel blocks. I don't want to put hardened steel on my ship right now. But yeah, that's cool. You can do little spheres. So you could do like this and this and that. So you could do like the weird, you know, woo-woo ship that's floating in the air, that's got floating in the air stuff like that. That is really cool. I love it. I love it. Okay, anyway, squirrel. All right, let's see if there are more thrusters over here. And yeah, there's another thruster right here. Cool, and it's a decent sized one too. It's not the little baby sized one. This is a bigger thruster. Cool. So I've got, yeah. And it kind of sucks because I lost parts when I was doing episode 4. Ooh, there's a huge thruster too. Awesome. I lost parts in episode 4 because I didn't have the... Oh man, I didn't have enough inventory space. And yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Yeah, I didn't have enough inventory space and just threw those little white capsules all over the place. Is that where I just was? Did I went in here and I didn't even catch the... Cool. And did I get more there? No. More advanced CPUs, but not more flux coils. The flux coils are what I want. And I suppose I could even just stand up here and do this. And look. See if this one has one. No, it doesn't. But yeah, the flux coils are what I'm looking for. I suppose I can take the antenna too. Those are usually nice for, yeah, computers. And we'll see what's up here. Consoles, awesome. And stuff, there's more sprouts. And more goodies. Okay. And I'm going to grab all these. This is actually faster. And I'm going to need to eat some food soon, too. I hope I still have food on me. You know, I wonder if you can eat food while you're in the drone. Should we try that, too? Let's see, can you eat food? Yeah. I can eat while I'm controlling my drone. That's awesome. Okay, guys. Let's see. See what's going on in chat. They put a patch out this morning on the experimental. Yeah. I'm not sure what they added on the experimental yet. Was that a tier 1 or a tier 2 sniper? Nope, just a tier 1. Okay. Those things are like bogus. Okay, and so let's do this. Let me go back to my ship. Yeah, I'm going to need to go back to the ship and get stuff put away. Cargo box. There we go. And you can put some of those in there. Okay, I've had this happen too. Huh. Did it just sink? No. No, it just did it on itself. I'm not sure why it just lowered itself. But yeah, let's go back up here. There we go. Come on. Alright, let's make sure we get all this stuff. And that. And this science lab. Is that... Oh, good. That is electronics and not just plastic. Cool. Awesome. Okay, and grab that because I can. Actually, I'm going to throw that back because I don't even want it. Okay, and I already have the tools, the decorating tools, and I think that's it up here. Wow, those are really a lot of... all of that work for one steel and one glass plate. I wish you could build those with that much hit points for that cheap, right? Okay, and let's see what's in here. Anything in here? Nope. I don't see anything in here. Okay, well I think that's all of the big stuff. I suppose the capacitors I could grab too. But I'm going to come back. I think I'm going to end up coming back to... Let's see what the capacitor gives you. Oh, it gives you computers. I'll go grab the other one real quick. But yeah, I plan to come back and probably do like I did last time and use the POIs to get some iron. Here we go. Okay. There we go. And let's make sure... Yep. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's find the next thing, and let's see what we've got. Should be able to access cargo. Don't think the loot boxes count. Yeah, I don't remember whether the loot boxes... Yeah, the cylindrical loot boxes count when you put a core in. Cannot get my server to accept admin config. Got little... got little, some little bug in the server thing, or some little field that it doesn't like. Okay, where are we going to go next? Almost want to go... That's right next to a POI. Those are close to POIs. I think I'll go to this magnesium over here. So that is west of us. No, that's east. Don't you know you're east from your west? Okay. You're military east. Okay. Yeah, elevators have some electronics. I don't remember if they have computers or not. But let's see, fusion cells. Yeah, the fusion cells they use hydrogen and promethium to make a really, really big thingy. Really big fuel. Unfortunately, you don't get any additional efficiency out of it. It's the one thing I'd really like to see, is that, you know, as you go bigger, you get more bang for your buck out of them. But I guess they don't want to do that trade-off kind of thing. But even not having to refuel all the time is a big enough perk that I think it's still definitely worth making them. Yep. The the hell is saying this? Space oranges and honey plants and texture plants. Now you have the seeds for them. And yeah, the Akua berries too. You can make seeds, sprouts for the Akua berries and plant them in your garden. Now the thing I wonder about is when you pick them, is if they have a flag that it's a domestic picked, so that you don't get food poisoning from them, because you can get food poisoning from the Akua berries. Don't ask me how I know. That was a long night on the toilet, right? And they don't have a toilet, so it was a long night in my spacesuit. And yeah, it's definitely a good to have more uses for the hydrogen. I'm actually considering putting down a hydrogen generator now, because I mean, I did that, and I think it was season 1 when they first came out with it, because in the very first implementation, you got more fuel by turning your promethium into hydrogen. I think it was like 7-to-1 or something like that too. It was a pretty good addition of fuel, and so it like made it worth the additional tedium to go through all of that process to make the extra fuel. But now it's like it's just as tedious, and you have to change the fuel out all the time. You have to go gather your hydrogen from your generator and all that stuff, and then you don't get anything out of it. So why? But yeah, now that they've added that fusion cell, it's kind of cool. Yeah, I wonder how they flag that. They must flag it internally somehow, that it's wild or domestic, as far as the plants giving you food poisoning. Yeah, I wonder how they're going to handle that. They really, you know, with procedural generation and stuff, I mean, if you're going to have, like, a galaxy, you're talking, you know, hundreds or thousands of planets, and, you know, are you really going to have 1,000 planets and all of them have Akua berries? You know what I mean? All of them have corn dogs, or, you know, that basically you have, like, a dozen different plants that are spread out amongst basically an entire galaxy of stuff. Is this? That's a spaceport. Let's see. Promethium, cobalt. I guess we'll go up towards these. Yeah, so we'll get that promethium, and then we'll go this way, and then we can come across that way. So I'm going to go up north, and I think I will do the Guardian Village in an episode, because not everybody watches the live streams, and I want to... I don't want to skip that. I want to do that in an episode where people see it. So we'll do that later, but for now we will get, yeah, promethium. Alright. Found some rocks. A lot of rocks here. Wonder if they'll do procedurally generated rocks, because, yeah, the deco rocks are starting to get repetitive too. Yeah. Remember when the large promethium packs were actually a better value than the smaller packs? I remember. Whoa! Whoa! Remember when my hovercraft didn't have a bunch of damage? No! 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 Oh, man. Wow. I guess we're not doing that deposit. Did I lose an engine or two? Let's see. No, I didn't lose any. Okay. Let me see where that is. It's right up there. Okay. I should probably pay attention to what I'm doing instead of chat, but that's the fun of a live stream, right? Alright. Let's see if we can get this fixed. Wow. That did some damage. I think they beefed them up, because I don't think those things used to do that kind of damage. Although I was pretty much getting hit by the time I noticed that something was going on. Nice. You scratched my anchor. Okay. Get this. I don't think anything on the right side took any damage. Let's see. Let's see what we have. Our hover engines are good. Minigun turret. Let me get the minigun turret repaired, because you lose ammo when that thing gets killed, too. I don't want to lose ammo. Alright. I remember. Yeah, remember when you were too busy reading comments and got shot? Yeah, thanks. Is that when I start heading back towards that? Hey, there's Prometheum, guys. Let's go get that one. Dar. Okay. Alright. What I think they should do for planets, you have a type, say berry, with a mod tag for the planet it originated on. So it's just a label on the berry item. I'm trying to translate that while flying. Back in the days of Alpha 0.001, yeah, right? Okay. It's the other place you got to be careful is when you're coming through that green line. The first time you come through it, there might be a POI really close. And then you end up getting shot at right as you get through. Okay. You have a type, say berry, with a mod tag for the planet originated. So it's just a berry item. Yeah, I think they should, yeah. What I think would be cool would be, and I posted it on the forum, so I'm probably repeating myself, but yeah, what I think would be cool would be for the plants and stuff is you basically have like procedural generated plant models, and you know they're like, there's our Prometheum deposit. So the models would actually be just, you know, distortions and proportion changes of some kind of standard model, and certain parts missing or added or that kind of thing. And then the stuff wouldn't give you like a berry or something like that. It would give you, you know, when you chop down a tree, you get wood. You don't get like, you know, I don't chop down this tree and get a different kind of wood from the other tree and that kind of thing. So basically you would get nutrients. You know, you could have some, you know, protein, sugars, and fats, and then you have like maybe a few vitamins or something like that if people want to get into the micromanaging of nutrients, you know, so you don't just eat, you have to eat a variety of foods kind of thing that some people want. And, you know, that could be something you could optionally turn off or whatever too. But yeah, where you get, you know, you get components out of them instead of, you know, a whole food. And then you use those components, you know, when you make a pizza, it takes this many of this component, you know, it has a ratio of how much of each component, and then you get your food out of that, which I think would kind of make more sense, but then it would be easier to deal with as far as a giant variety, you know. It would allow them to have pretty much infinite variety, because the other thing with having models is, you know, unless they start mixing them up too, which is something they could do, but you know, once you know what corn dogs look like, you get to a planet and you're like, oh, it's corn dogs, I can eat those, I'm going to run over and eat them, you know, they have 50 food value and that kind of thing. So it gets kind of boring too, because the fun of a survival game is not really knowing what's going to happen when you eat this thing, or you know, that kind of thing. Like they had in Skyrim. All right, Hal, see you later. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, like they had in Skyrim, where you learned how the components worked by eating them, and you know, they might make you sick if you eat them, but that's how you find out. It was really fun. It was really fun to learn how to make the potions and stuff like that, and so yeah, I really hope they do that kind of thing on this with the monsters and stuff like that too, with the wildlife, because right now it's like, you know, oh, it's a spider, I know what spiders do, I know how to kill them, here's the headshot, and that kind of thing. So it'd be cool if you get to a planet and you have no idea, and then you could also have that as equipment you can do, you know. Equipment you can buy is another, you know, scanner or whatever. Hey, it's a wildlife scanner. It'll tell you, you know, behavior types or whatever. But yeah, there's still a bunch of components they need to add that, and like the critter radar and stuff, and tell you where stuff is, scanners, all kinds of scanners and night vision and that kind of stuff, binoculars. So many toys they can add. So here's the cobalt. Almost finished with this cobalt. And let's see what we have on the map. That's the mid part. Okay, I think that's the one where we were at before today. That crashed my Titan mid part. And let's see. Going to... find on our map. Sorry, spacing out here. Okay, copper deposit. And yeah, I think we'll head to the copper deposit. So where our base is now in front of us instead of behind us. And here we go. All right. Hey, there's actually some bumps in this forest. Because it's not between the mountains. I like this terrain. Really like the terrain that they've done in this. Okay, we're going to... Are we heading? Yeah, we are heading the right way. It's just over this. Yeah, I really love the terrain on this. This is the desert too. This is the terrain that's on Zahines, however it's pronounced. And because yeah, I like to mix up the terrain, and I really wish you could make your own terrain DLLs. Eat something and turn into the Hulk. Yeah, spinach, space spinach. Da 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 da. Right? That would be, yeah. All the old people know that joke. I don't know if anybody even knows about Popeye anymore. Okay, we got copper. I think I came in a little too far out. And what are the other ones over here? Yeah, I'm probably not going to have time to finish all of those. So I think I'm going to finish up this copper one. And then I'll probably have to head out. How far, what's our time? I don't see a... Z Hennies? Yeah, I have no idea. I don't even know how the developers pronounce their name, because E is an A or S sound in all the other Romance languages or Germanic languages or whatever they're called, and so I don't know if it's Eleon or Aleon or whatever, you know. I think there's about 16 different ways that it could possibly be pronounced. So yeah, I don't know. It's like every planet they make them so that, you know, you could pronounce them 16 different ways. All right, copper deposit. Yeah, it's probably getting close. I figured I'd do about an hour, and I think we're about an hour in. Let's see. Dying with style. I think the best death. Well, okay, the broken leg, dying of a broken leg at the patio of my base. As I arrive home from an epic adventure. Okay, that was a good one. But the couple of the ones that Hurley did, where she got shot in the face by the turret trying to sneak around the corner, and where she kept getting shot by that turret, we were laughing so hard. Those were great. Getting shot by the giant indoor turret. Yeah, I had to put those. I captured those. Those were one of the pieces of footage I got for the intro things. There's another butterfly. Butterflies keep showing up in my minds. Apparently butterflies like copper. Alright, there's the copper ore. The stream is at 30 minutes? Huh. Okay. Well, we'll do some more. Alright, we'll go over to the Promethium here. Yeah, see, how many of these deposits have I done? What have I done, like 7 or 8 deposits now? And how many of them have been patrolled by drones? You know? What, none of them? I don't think even a single one. I think there was the one drone between deposits, and then there were the drones that were sitting at the thingy. The drones that were, yeah, I'll do this. The drones that were sitting at the POI, but it's kind of crazy. Do I have, yeah, I still have plenty of room. Cool. And you'll never have to worry about starving on Akua with as much wild food as there is. I've actually gotten food poisoning, I think, twice in this game now. So that's why I started carrying stomach pills on me, so that if I need to fill up, because I still haven't gotten the sprouts yet to make the canned vegetables or canned meat. It's another one of the quests I need to do. But yeah, I started carrying stomach pills on me, which is funny because it was like, I think there was at least a half a dozen times during previous series where I've commented dismissively at them that, yeah, those are pointless, who needs them, who cares? What kind of idiot gets food poisoning? But yeah, so yeah, now I'm carrying them. I don't think I intended to have 6 of them on me, but yeah, I carry them because you get that every once in a while. Okay, we'll get this. Get this Promethium, and I think there's 2 of those. How many more deposits do we have? We're getting there. 8, 10, 12, 13 deposits. And here comes a drone. There he is. And let me get this thing, because this has a better range. Come on, as soon as he's in range. Come on, show me your face. There we go. There we go. Cool. Alright. Get that guy. Oh, that was interesting. Okay. Go back to this deposit and finish it off. Must have been close. We're less than 10%. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I would love to be able to make more drones. One of the things I want to do for a custom planet is make a super duper hostile planet that's just like covered with POIs. So basically there's nowhere on the entire surface that you can land that isn't covered by like POIs, and they're all just like tons of turrets and maximum amount of drones on each protecting each POI. So that basically, and you know, that's where you put the Zascosium deposit, right? So you have to go down to the planet and you have to shoot up at least 1 or 2 POIs before you can even land. And yeah, that would be, I think that would be kind of fun. And I might even do that in this game, might test out that idea and see if I can get a planet that works that way. It'd be a blast. No, I got poisoned. I got poisoned once in maybe season 3 or 4 when they first introduced that you could get poisoned by wild food. When I was on Omicron and eating like 5 million space oranges, I got food poisoning because I was just running around eating space oranges like, you know, haha, I don't have to pick anything. I don't have to do anything else. And yeah, and then I got food poisoning. So, but other than that, no, and that was when they had first changed. They either first added that or they changed it so that it was like a 20% chance or something. I mean, it was like ridiculous, the chance of getting poisoned, and they nerfed it right after that. At which point I started once again joking that you know, the poison, the pills were pointless. Have you checked out the autominers? The autominers are great. Yeah, I think they're great. They run when you're not there. So yeah, I think they're awesome for basically a set and forget kind of thing where you sit them down and you don't even have to be on the same planet. So you can sit them down on some planet and leave and go do other stuff and come back to pick up your free ores. So that's actually really cool. Because if you had to sit next to them, it would be a lot tougher. I wouldn't mind sitting next to them if there was something to actually do while you were sitting next to them. But, you know, like if you had to build a base and defend it against, you know, drone attacks or something while it was mining, that would be kind of fun. But, yeah, the way they work now, I guess it's better that they work when you're not there. Yeah, the you have to specifically mine for crushed rock since the auto miners don't pick up crushed stone. Yeah, that's true. You get it really fast, though. I mean, you can get 1,000 crushed rock in a few minutes. It's actually pretty quick. Now, on multiplayer, can you destroy somebody else's auto miners if you shoot them or blow them up or anything? With rockets or with SV weapons or handguns or anything like that? And do they have access codes where you can lock somebody out of your auto miner? I haven't actually done that on multiplayer. Hurley and I played this weekend on our LAN together, which is technically multiplayer, but we always play co-op. You know, we're always the same faction, and we just started a new game in that, so we didn't actually get a chance to do the auto miners yet. So yeah, I'm not sure if they are set up that you can go loot somebody else's stuff. If you can lock them out, or if you can grief them by destroying their miners. I seem to recall now that you can get a drone to shoot somebody's... You can get a drone to shoot at you, and like a rocket drone, its shots would miss you and hit the miner, so you could do that to get it to blow up somebody's auto miner, if nothing else, even on a PvE planet. So there is that for griefing, if you're skilled enough, although, I mean, the amount of time invested in trying to do that would be really probably pretty difficult. But get this silicon deposit. See what else is going on in chat. Alright. So yeah, I gotta decide what I'm gonna do for the next episode. I'm hoping I can get enough of this done. I might even start just doing raids because I've got enough ores and everything. It's not like having, you know, a couple more deposits worth of ores is suddenly going to enable me to go do raids that I wasn't going to be able to do before. But I think I'm probably going to have to build an armored hovercraft for that. So yeah, I'll probably have an episode of a hovercraft build and then start doing some raids and some POI stuff. So that should be fun. And I'll probably have Hurley join me on the weekend for the abandoned mine and the drone base. But yeah, my goal is to try to get Akua, to try to completely conquer Akua as quickly as possible and get off the planet. So I'm not going to build a big base here. I'm going to build somewhere else. I'm basically just going to leave Akua and not come back, is the plan. Once I build a capital ship, just warp out to whatever other planet, and, you know, if I like it, start a base there, and if not, find another planet. But yeah, I want to try to get out to all the planets in this series too. Let's see here. Do I still have food? Yeah, I still got a canned food here. Okay. And where is it? It's over here somewhere. Alright. Yeah, I'm really disappointed in the lack of hostiles on this planet. It's way too easy right now. So this is last magnesium deposit? Yeah. At least on the way home anyway. So yeah, there's a ton of those. I added a bunch of those because if you get small ones, you're kind of screwed. And ammo is something that, you know, you can't replace. Once you run out, you're kind of done. So if you run out of ammo before you were able to get off planet, you're kind of toast. So yeah, I actually put extra ones on there, so I may or may not end up mining out the rest of these if I need them. And I really wish they'd let you put an actual size, not an integer, but, you know, just put a size of how many ores are in the deposit kind of thing. Or the radius of the sphere, which is what that number is anyway, the size. But, you know, put like, instead of just 1, 2, or 3, you know, pick a number that can actually be a decimal. Got the auto miners mining Erestrum and Zascosium. Interesting to see what happened after they left the playing field and come back. Yeah, in my testing in the last series, I went and left some on the jungle planet while I was out in space building on the diamond for a couple hours, I think it was. And yeah, and they had a ton of it on there. And basically I flew in, dropped it off, flew back out of the atmosphere, so the playfield wasn't even loaded. So at that time, at least, they did... There we go. Whoops. At least at that time they did that. But yeah, let's see. We're gonna head back to base, and I think that's gonna be it for the stream, because I've got to get going here. So that's gonna be it for the stream, and thanks guys for joining me and all the chat and everything. Thanks for chatting. It's a lot more interesting when people come in and chat instead of just instead of everybody's watching and nobody says anything. Then it doesn't really feel like you're live streaming that way. But never played PvP on our server, so there hasn't been any griefing. Yeah, I tend to not play with people who grief. You know what I mean? I don't like to play with strangers for that reason. But they continue mining when you're on a different planet. Yeah. It's, in my experience, they do continue mining when you're on a different planet. But all right, guys, that's going to be it for the stream. And thanks for joining me. And we will see you next time in, I think it's episode 6 now. So we will see you then. Thanks, and later.